In today's video, we will be looking at the top 5 most haunted hotels in the USA. So make sure to leave a like rating on this video and we'll go ahead and get started. Starting off in our No. 5 spot, we have the Stanley Hotel, located in Colorado. Now, back in 1909, a wealthy man named Freeland Oscar Stanley set out to build a grand hotel that would attract tourists to his hometown of Estes Park, Colorado. Well, he did just that with the help of his brother, Milton. Together, they built the luxurious resort known as the Stanley Hotel, which is still open to guests to this very day. But some say the brothers made a deal with the devil when building the hotel. Why else would there be so many paranormal occurrences? Some of the more notable ghosts that are said to haunt the hotel include the original owner, Stanley, who is seen by guests and staff walking around the hotel, as well as room 217. Many people have reported hearing a woman singing opera in the early morning hours. This is believed to be the ghost of a maid who used to work at the hotel in the 1910s. She was fired for stealing from the guests, and she was so outraged that she took her own life in room 217. Other reports include strange sounds coming from room 401, including footsteps, shaking beds, and even the apparition of a little girl standing at the foot of the bed. In June of 2006, while filming the second season of Ghost Adventures in the Stanley Hotel, the crew captured what is considered to be one of the most convincing pieces of evidence ever caught on camera. While investigating the source of strange sounds in the middle of the night, Zach Bagans walked through the hotel and encountered a little girl in a Victorian nightgown. He asked her politely to turn around so he could see her face, but she simply ran away. When he went to follow her, the hallway vanished and he found himself back where he started. This interaction left Zach shaken, as it was the first time in his career that a ghost had actively avoided him. The Stanley Hotel has been featured on every major paranormal TV show and is widely regarded as one of the most haunted hotels in the United States. Moving on, in our No. 4 spot, we have the Queen Mary. Originally built in 1934, the ocean liner was one of the largest and fastest ships of its time. It boasted lavish accommodations and was dubbed the most luxurious way to travel across the Atlantic. However, the ship never turned a profit, and after making only a few transatlantic crossings, it was permanently docked in Long Beach, California, where it now serves as a hotel and tourist attraction. With over 150 years of history, it's no surprise that the ship is said to be haunted by at least 3 ghosts. One of the most famous is that of a young girl named Helen, who died of a high fever while the ship was in transit. Her ghost is said to appear in the same cabin that she died in, as well as walking the decks at night. Another ghost is that of John Petter, a former crew member who was crushed to death by a closing door. His body was never recovered, but his ghost is often seen in the engine room where he worked. Finally, there's the ghost of a sailor who drowned in the ocean after falling off the ship. His body was also never recovered, but his ghost is said to appear on the top deck where he fell. There have also been reports of other paranormal activity on board, such as disembodied voices, footsteps, and shadows moving through the ship. One of the most famous stories involves a couple who booked a night in the first-class stateroom where Helen died. They were awakened in the middle of the night by the sound of a small child crying. As they lay in bed listening, they heard footsteps approaching their cabin, followed by a knock on the door. When they opened the door, they saw a little girl in a Victorian nightgown standing in the hallway. She looked at them for a moment before turning and walking down the hall. The couple never saw her again, but they did hear her crying in the middle of the night. The Queen Mary is one of the most popular tourist destinations in California, and many people come to visit not only for the rich history, but also for the chance to experience one of the most haunted places in the United States. In our No. 3 spot, we have the Crescent Hotel. Originally built in 1886, the Crescent Hotel was once the tallest building in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. It was also one of the first buildings in the area to have electricity. However, the hotel fell into disrepair in the early 1900s and eventually closed its doors. It was until 1936 that the hotel was purchased by a new owner who began offering it as a dude ranch. In 1960, the hotel was once again purchased, this time by a couple who wanted to restore it to its former glory. They spent years renovating the hotel, and in 1972 it was once again open to guests as a luxury spa and golf resort. But the new owners soon discovered that they weren't alone. Guests and employees began reporting strange activity throughout the hotel. And it wasn't long before the place earned the nickname the most haunted hotel in the South. Some of the most active areas include the basement and the attic. Here, guests have reported seeing apparitions and feeling cold spots. One of the most famous ghosts is that of a young girl who died in the hotel in 1909. Her ghost is said to wander the halls at night, looking for her lost puppy. Other ghosts include that of a man who died in a fire in the basement and a couple who were murdered in their room. In recent years, the Crescent Hotel has become a popular destination for paranormal investigators and ghost hunters. And many believe that it is truly one of the most haunted places in the United States. Moving on to our No. 2 spot, we have the Myrtles Plantation. Located in St. Francisville, Louisiana, the Myrtles Plantation is a large antebellum-style mansion that was built in 1796. It is now open to guests as a bed and breakfast and is said to be one of the most haunted hotels in America. The plantation has a long and bloody history. During the Civil War, it was used as a hospital, and many soldiers died on its grounds. It is said that the ghosts of these soldiers still roam the plantation, along with the ghosts of several former slaves. One of the most famous ghosts is that of Chloe, a slave who was hanged for stealing food. Her ghost is said to appear in the same room where she was killed. Other ghosts include that of a young girl who died in a fire and an elderly couple who were murdered in their bed. Over the years, the Myrtles Plantation has become a popular destination for those looking to experience a haunted hotel. Rooms are often booked specifically for ghost hunters and paranormal investigators, and many believe that it is truly one of the most haunted places in America. Finally, in our No. 1 spot today, we have the Hotel Monte Vista. Located in the heart of downtown Flagstaff, Arizona, the Hotel Monte Vista is a historic landmark that was built in 1928. It is known for its gritty, beautiful architecture and rich history, but it's also said to be one of the most haunted hotels in the world. The hotel has a long and interesting history. It was originally built as a luxury hotel to cater to the growing number of tourists visiting the area. But it quickly became a favorite spot for Hollywood celebrities and royalty alike. Over the years, the hotel has seen its share of tragedy, including the death of a young girl in an elevator accident and a series of deaths in the ballroom. It is said that the ghosts of these victims still linger in the hotel, along with the ghost of a former employee who was murdered in the basement. Guests have reported seeing apparitions, hearing unexplained noises, and feeling sudden drops in temperature in various rooms throughout the hotel. One of the most active areas is the ballroom, where the ghosts of a family are said to waltz every night. Others have reported seeing the ghost of a former employee in the basement, or hearing the sound of footsteps in the hallway. Despite the many ghost stories, the Monte Vista continues to be a popular destination for tourists. Many people come to visit not only for the beautiful architecture and rich history, but also for the chance to experience one of the most haunted places in the world. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thank you so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.